Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are at round 10. Ascent Taipei, day 2, round 10. 3 more rounds before we get to top cut, top 8. I will let you guys know what these people are playing. So, we've got Egg again, and he's playing Merlin, just like last time, and he's playing against Rai. So, we have a Megalobana on Rai, and it's interesting that he's not playing Fragmented Spirit or Serene Spirit. He's just playing straight up Spirit of Fire Rai. It's been a while since I've seen someone just play regular Spirit Rai. So, as far as the deck list, it looks exactly the same with one notable change, which is the best material deck card in the set, Backup Charger, with two turbo charges. Specifically two. I guess he's fine to see an extra one, he just needs to find one. So he'd rather have two copies rather than just one. As far as fogs go, it's 4 resolute, 2 peaceful, and 2 vanish. So 8 fogs. The rest of the deck is pretty much standard Rai stuff. Notably, no Advent and no Advent and no Power Overwhelming. It's just straight up Fireball, Increasing, Arcane Blast, Disposition, Sights. And then in the sideboard, he has some board clear cards. He has Persian Flames, Peacefuls, and then he also puts the Piers in. So it's a very similar list to old school, right? Opponent on Merlin, and I mean, historically speaking, Merlin is supposed to lose Sarai, but we saw what happened in Worlds. Even in best of 5, the Merlin ended up taking it in just 4 games. So we'll see how this goes. The Merlin list, like I said, similar. We've already seen this before. It is playing Prismatic. And the main thing is obviously that Rai is fire, so it's harder to set up a multi-element Prismatic when your opponent is also... Oh my god, is that a square live increasing danger? And he drew into a blast. So Merlin with the pretty bad start. Going Library Witch pass against Rai is not what you want to see. Hopefully he can find a cremation at some point so he gets something out of this witch. Yeah, this hand's clunky. That's 4 Crux cards. That's Ascension, Pendragon, Sight? In this position, I'm trying to think, what can you really do? Like, Rai, if you don't pressure him, he will roll you. Like, the way Glenny was able to win in Worlds was by dropping a bunch of Flame Runes early, playing a lot of Sudden Steals early. Okay, getting a banish of that Erratic Bolt. Can add it. He seems like he has a lot of arcane cards as well, but that's actually what Rai wants. He wants to have a lot of arcane cards as long as he has something playable. I see a Creative Shock. I imagine we're going to put 3 down and then dump this Voltaic Sphere. Another thing about Rai is obviously the fact he doesn't play any floating memory cards, so ends up working out super well. Wow, playing the Vanish now. Just to put cards down, huh? Does he not have Creative Shock? I feel like I saw one. Oh, he probably wants to use that on level 2 Rai to get an Enlightenment Fountain. So choosing to just go for the Vanish here. Using our very nice stealth custom-made tokens. Oh my god. You look at Megalobon. He's like, wow, Shieldmate and Library Witch against Rai. Definitely not a good start. Shirley Caven versus Shoutout. I'm sorry, I did not choose. But from rounds 3 and 4, I think we will just start picking whatever the top 1 or 2 tables is. Seems like there's some kind of dispute here. Not sure exactly what's the issue here. Oh, he forgot to get the 2 enlightenment counters from Rai 1. Oh. So, seems like they're just letting him get the enlightenment counters here. Get a banish 2. Nothing prereq. Oh, he didn't have creative shock. Okay. That was my mistake. I thought he did. Ooh, and he draws Dungeon Guide. With exactly 3 arcane. He could choose to throw all 3 of these, but maybe he'd like to keep the blast. No, he just wants to get us high. Guaranteed arcane banishes here. So he's banished 5 arcane, so he's level 8, so he can play this Careful Study for free. Which is exactly what you want to see. And Rai's gonna start doing Rai things. This was a pretty atrocious start for Egg, unfortunately. So fortunately, because of this walling from the library, which the shield made this Dungeon Guide can't swing for 1. Absolute value. Alright, so he levels up to 2 here, and he does have DG, so he could level, but wasn't able to really dump a lot of float. Wasn't really able to do much. He has 1 win card, so if he'd like, he could get an Ascension banish here, but there's a risk that you're banishing an Arcane card, so do you really want to do that? Actually, you're most assuredly that's an Arcane card. Because he put it down for the Dungeon Guide. He's actually putting the win card down. Maybe he doesn't value banishes as much against Rai because it could potentially give him more levels. Okay, keeping... Oh, okay, lost the win card, lost an Ascension. Go up to Merlin here. Just gonna swing for 1. Then Pendragon. Hey, we're gonna go Pen, swing face. So we're finally starting to put on some pressure, but it's still... Can't help but feel like it's a bit too late for that. Probably gonna go backup Charger here. We see already 2 Resolutes in there. I imagine it's either backup Charger or do we go for Tome here? Tome would be not bad considering you have 1 card in an Arcane card in Banish already. So we're gonna go for that. We get our Power Cell. Draw a card into memory. It seems like I think that was a disposition. Collect, draw. Disintegrate is nice, but I'm gonna save that for Deer most likely. Yeah, that is a disposition. I'm fairly certain. So he's probably gonna play that out and just try and dump his whole hand to make sure that he gets... To make sure that he doesn't have to discard anything. And he's going to get your alignment counter, sir. Oh, did he forget to get his alignment counter? I think he forgot to get his alignment counter. Right, he's getting it now. Creative Shock, draw 2, probably going to discard. Throwing Increasing Danger instead of the Voltaic is interesting. Maybe he wants to use the Voltaic to kill the Pend in order to exactly put down enough cards. So we're going to kill the Pend, and then... I mean, we're in a pretty good spot here. He already has 1 Fireball. I don't think he has another kill spell yet. Has to try and dig for an Arcane Blast or an Erratic Bolt at least. I mean, Merlin has drawn a Fireball here, but don't have to worry about Spell Shield at least. Are you gonna play this Ascension? It's so risky. Gonna go Crux Sight at the Pendragon. Remember, he's not on Serene, so we might be able to burst here. Probably next turn. I think Rai has to try and kill now, or he has to at least hold up Spell Shield and Fogs. His next turn is going to be even level counter turn. Merlin has 2 fireballs. Alright, it's time to go Tome here. Do we just go Ring? Right is level 8. Potentially level 9 when he banishes this Voltaic Sphere. Gonna go Resonance Bauble. Draws a Fireball. He might have it here. Gonna draw an extra card now. Maybe he wants to... What can we do here? Double Fireball would only be doing 18. Still not quite enough. Throws the... Oh, no, that's not Voltaic Sphere. Throws a Voltaic Sphere. So now he's level 9, which would make Fireball hit for 10 each. Oh, and then there's another disposition. Gonna put 2 down. Resolute. Not gonna need that since he's gonna be forced to discard anyway. Spell Shield, not what you want to see. Not what you want to see. Scry Disguise is very good. Also forgot to get his alignment counter again. I mean, you do have Scry into a potential... I feel like he should not have spent that alignment counter that early, but 2 down. It's a 10 damage Fireball. Another 10 damage Fireball. Oh, he had 3. Okay. I did not see the third one. All right. I mean, that's just right things. Just right things. That's what the deck does. So, in the side, we can... Let's check out if there's anything Merlin has to help against Rai. I do see Blanches. Those are definitely coming in. Safeguard was actually not even in the main. So Safeguard and Blanche are most likely coming in. And I think those two will definitely make it a bit more complicated. Can't go for those just send it OTK lines like we just did right there. And then we have, on Megalobana's side, we have Safeguard as well, which probably will put in just to help against Fireball. And then, of course, we have a bunch of draw cards. Things like Peer into Mana. Also Peaceful Reunion, which he probably would like to put in if he's going to keep playing Arcane Disposition. These lists are pretty much the same. Almost completely the same as the counterparts we used to see back in ALC meta. So I think we've all seen this matchup before, especially if you watch Worlds. In Worlds, there were a lot of Rise and a lot of Merlin, so definitely see what Egg wants to do here. I wonder if he's going to choose to just side out these Ascensions. Maybe he doesn't want to play a card that potentially banishes, or he could just not put his win cards down. It's still a lot of damage. 3 damage pings with the fire reveal plus the 3 swing off the sword. Both players having a little bit of fun here. All right, so I'm going to shuffle up here. Pile shuffling. Definitely feel, at least in this matchup, that Merlin can do things, but at least Egg's build is a bit more defensive with things like Library Witches, Shield Maze. Admittedly, he had a very, very bad start to that game. Going Library Witch pass against Rai is about as bad as it gets. And then he never drew a Cremation when they were on field, or at least until it was already too late. So, and even then, the game wasn't completely lost. He did have 2 fireballs. If he lasted another turn, maybe he could have cracked back there, but we'll see. Those players are gonna shuffle up and get cuts, and we're gonna get into round 2 or game 2. So we can talk a little bit about how the tournament is going. Last round, Caban actually fought Megalobana and beat him. It was 3 games, but on the last game, he kind of just killed him. Rai just drew past, went ring, and then just died. So that's the thing. Is like you can play with their sideboard where they play the aggressive. They can play a level 3 deck, or they can play an aggressive slice and dice OTK list. It's actually very hard to pin down exactly how the Tristan wants to play. So decent start here. We're gonna go creative into float. So definitely a better start than the last time. I see Pendragon and Reprogram. Reprogram probably not much use outside of just a floating menu. I'm just gonna draw them pass. I wonder if it's a bad hand or if it's a creative shock on in phase kind of hand. I'm just gonna level up here. Not seeing much on the ally front. You really want to be able to pressure Rai with allies early on in the game that he gets low, that your fireballs really do start to threaten lethal. Having just a bunch of Crux cards and floating cards, not particularly good, but at least he can level up pretty efficiently to 3. Wow, gonna Resolute this. The Rai's hand must not be great. Don't really want to use Resolutes this early. You'd rather play your cards like Creative, the cards that cycle themselves. So it means he probably didn't open Creative. He didn't open a Increasing Danger. Otherwise, he probably would have played that. This is maybe the only decent playable card in his hand. I see Careful Study. Okay, we at least banish an Arcane card. Arcane. Oh, he might not be even... If he had nothing playable last turn... Oh my god, he's DGing to 3. Or to 2, I mean. He does have a... Oh, he has another Dungeon Guide, actually. So yeah, this actually makes sense. The next turn, he can go Backup Charger into DG into Careful Study, most likely. Yeah, I definitely expect a Backup Charger here. Hopefully he draws into more Arcane cards so that he can reach that threshold that his levels are making free Careful Studies. He currently has 3, so he needs to bench another 2. So when he Dungeon Guides again, he's gonna need at least 2 Arcane cards. If he has 3, then it's at least guaranteed. And Merlin also getting a gas start, just floating, level up to 3. No float on the right side, so he's not gonna get that fast level 2 counter, at least. Just gonna swing 1. And then Pendragon. Returning. At least shuts off the Ascensions for a turn. Going for Ring instead of Backup Charger is interesting. Maybe he has a card that he can play in his hand at fast speed. That's interesting. I'm not sure why you would go for Ring over Backup Charger there. He did have 3 cards in hand. Okay, putting 1, 2. And probably gonna Voltaic Sphere, yeah. Oh, choosing to keep something else. So he's putting Erratic Voltaic and another one. Probably a Sight, I think. They're gonna throw out Disposition Voltaic. Level up to 3, then place this Careful Study. Gonna hold up the Spell Shield. That makes a lot of sense. Gonna just draw. Drawing into Fogs. Drawing, I think that was Peaceful. Just gonna swing 2. Ship him down. Yeah, the Spell Shield's gonna do work here. Makes you question if you could just spend it on a Pendragon swing, because chances are he's not gonna throw a Fireball until a few turns later. At that point, he might have multiple already. Okay, so going for Ring here, if he drews another Pendragon, he could choose to send the Ring, but he did not draw one, so he's just gonna pop it. Yeah, he's gonna spend the Spell Shield here on the Pen. Does he have a Sparkleite? No. But there are 2 Fireballs. He's gonna get 3 Enlightenment, and then 1 from Raitu, and then 3 from Pendragon Swing. Okay, draws into 1 Fireball. Draws into a disposition. And he's just going to take the Dungeon Guide Swing. Seems like something's happening here. I think perhaps worried that he saw when he flipped the card on top card of his deck to draw. I think might have been able to see what was on top. There was no scry this guy, so shuffling deck here is okay. So we've got voltaic, erratic, disposition, sight. He has an erratic still in his memory, so you can send that next turn if you would like, just to dig deeper through the deck. Gonna get things resolved, shuffle the deck. Is he gonna throw this float? Maybe he probably wants to keep this chilling touch. Maybe you just throw the cremate. Oh, there was an Honorable Vanguard in there. Flame Rune is good. Maybe we played that out. Once again, he can't play backup charger this turn because he only has 2 cards in hand. I really think he should have gone charger in that one turn. There's cremate here. Scry's good. Get to dig for our fireballs. 1, 2, 3. Well, there's one of them. All right, are we adding Pendragon or Fireball? Actually, we're probably just gonna draw Pendragon in the memory and then put Fireball on top and bottom the rest of those. I definitely don't think you want to see this Dungeon Guide. Maybe you keep Flame Rune. It actually doesn't have that many cards right now. It's pretty low, so I'm thinking that he needs to try and recover some cards here. But if he doesn't draw into a Scry, it's going to take a while before he starts digging into his other draw spells. Or maybe he just rips it off the top of the deck. That's definitely a possibility. Fire Resonance Wobble is fine as well. Drawing into an Arcane Blast. No cards in hand. Does he have the kill? Let's see. I don't think so. I don't think... He's only level 8, so... It's not like we can go Arcane Blast, Fireball, Fireball yet. Really needs to find these draw spells. That's an increasing danger. That's a... That danger is maybe we don't want to increase that far. It's a bit risky when your opponent's on their even level counter turn next turn, giving them that much gas. Just gonna pass it up. It's probably gonna be Resolute here. Even level counter turn, drawing a million cards. He has Fireball, Erratic, Arcane Blast. Okay. No, nothing crazy. Just gonna throw another float. Gonna play the Resolute now. He actually had a disposition. He's gonna hold up 3 cards so he can be backup charger. Doesn't really have much else in his hand. He can play some Flame Runes out, maybe cremate this Hasty. He's got a lot of float. He actually maybe... Will he play like a Prismatic Edge just to hard play Prismatic Edge? I mean, he doesn't have Drawn Blade out yet, so probably just go for that instead. Just gonna play a Crux Sight for with no add from grave. Gonna cremate his hasty, then probably play out. He doesn't want to play this Pendragon because he doesn't want to lose this safeguard amulet here. But maybe we can just draw into more scries, more fireballs. Yep, a scry is really good. This would be 5 deep. And you probably don't want any of those. Maybe creative, maybe ascension. Ascension wouldn't be great on this turn since there's no sword, but next turn maybe? Seems like he's... I think that was creative shock and then bottom the rest. Okay, just gonna pass it up. Fireball at the end phase makes your opponent think, oh, I can't pop my safeguard here because it's end phase. So he just has to take this. Also signals to his opponent if he has blanches or anything like that. I don't think he has anything in his hand to stop this. Just gonna take casual 9. Oh, right, so he can't go backup charger anymore because he played that fireball. Maybe he just has it now, even through safeguard. I think he had one more and an erratic. Could bring on his own safeguard. I think Egg is also thinking about playing fireball before the safeguard resolves. I definitely don't hate the idea of that. Though it's only gonna be fireball for 6. He has 2. He could play 2 here. So do... Okay, he's gonna choose to let it go. He could just always chain the fireballs to the safeguard activation. Seaforai just has the kill here, though. I can't imagine that he does. Gonna go disposition. That's scary because he can't hold up spell shields anymore. Oh, he has 2 fireballs in hand. If he draws heat here, 1, that's not... Oh, alignment counter, yes. 2. Oh, careful study his heat. I think he's gonna go for it. We got 7 enlightenment counters, or 6 enlightenment counters. Draws 2. Swinging 1. Merlin has 15 life left. These 2 fireballs will each hit for 9, but -4 each from the safeguard means, well, he would chain the first... Oh, you definitely don't want to see that card when you've already committed. I imagine Egg will just double fireball here. I think that's... Oh, 3? It's just not... It's not going to work out. You draw 2. Sight is decent. You draw a second card. Scry is also good. Playing out the increasing danger. Or no, discarding the increasing danger. Doing some chip. Then fireball now. Yeah, I think Egg can maybe he's gonna play out these fireballs pre-rec. Oh, choosing to go for Pend here. I guess he already has a lot of fireballs. He's okay with this. Gonna play a fireball now. Just gonna let it go. He's gonna take it. He's gonna save this safeguard for next turn. I imagine he's just gonna pop this safeguard at the start of the turn. Yeah, he's gonna pop it now before he gets the draw. So he could play this fireball. So he's popping it now before he gets the draw off the drawing blade. Merlin level counter. Should not forget about that. Okay, so can he do 7 damage? I'm pretty sure he can. This on its own is already going to be 3. Just needs to do another 4. Already has the sword swing. It's not even level counter turn, but that's... He goes Prismatic Edge here. Yeah, and that's gets to just swing for 3. And then Flame Runes. Yeah, so Megalobana, definitely feel like that disposition kind of hurt that he lost the ability to play the Spell Shield, but at the same time, he didn't really have much else going on, so he just kind of had to do it. But that's what happens when Merlin gets a good start. She definitely can hang with Rise. All she really needs to do is get efficient levels up, and she'll start drawing all her fireballs. If she doesn't draw them early enough, then maybe it can be a bit hard, but definitely one of the cards you could consider playing if you'd like to have a bit more leverage against Rise. Probably Tithe Proclamation. Tithe hurts Merlin too, but it definitely hurts her less than it hurts Rai. I think they're talking something about the first spell of the turn, or inherited effect of Rai. Maybe there were some missed triggers. Just gonna shuffle up here. I definitely feel that playing out those dispositions, while they're very strong draw cards, the fact that it leaves you with no cards in hand is really the big issue. And against Merlin, it can be really dangerous because she can either attack you through attacks or through spells. Same thing against Sylvie, really. She can, if you just play out like a Tariff or a Safeguard, it might not protect you from the other half of the damage they deal. That's why Peaceful Reunion ends up being usually the best card to play after a disposition, because it's a defensive card that you can play on your turn that lasts until the opponent's turn, as opposed to things like Spell Shields or Resolutes that are essentially going to be gone out of your hands. So Rai going first here is definitely preferred. Drop is 7. I'll put 2 down, increasing danger. That's about as good of a start as a Rai wants. Ooh, he drew Turbocharge. I wonder if we'll see a backup charger instead of leveling up here. Merlin just gonna creatively shock. Oh, it seems like Rai went second? Did Merlin just draw pass? Oh, no, it's... I'm tripping. Alright, so throw in the shield mate and just probably gonna pass here. Ooh, another increasing danger is so scary. We got the backup charger here. Gonna tap, draw a card. So yeah, we're just gonna go for this turbo charge, I think. We rise, draw, and heat. Does he have enough arcane cards? Turbo charge 1. Yeah, he has 3. Exactly 3. I'm gonna pop this. Draw 2. Drawing more arcane cards. Perfect. He is set to go. Obviously, also donating some cards to his opponent because of that increasing danger. Means that Merlin probably also could be able to level up super quickly here. Another Creative Shock, more float, a Cremation. He's got everything. I'm gonna go 3 down. Probably gonna play Ally plus Cremate into Creative Shock, maybe. Okay, just gonna sow Creative Shock first. Draw up. Throw away this floating Vanguard, or maybe, yep, throwing away the floating Vanguard. Does he have a Shield Mate into Cremate that he can do? He has another Vanguard, I think. He could play. Does he have enough cards to play Vanguard Cremate? Yeah, I think so. 2 down into. I mean, this is what happens. When you play Increasing Danger, you are increasing the danger. Going into another Cremation. Not the greatest card. Make sure to get your alignment counters. Let's not forget this time. Losing a sight. Gonna pre-rec play this Creative Shock. Trying to dig for DG, I think. Gonna probably throw this Increasing Danger. He cannot continue to increase this danger. Then probably gonna play another Creative, maybe? Or is he gonna hold it for the spell he casts this turn? Okay, he's just gonna send it. Then maybe hold the Scry up. Oh, losing a Scry feels pretty bad, but let's see what else is in his hand. His hand is massive. Drew, Careful Study. Could consider also just playing the Careful Study at level 1. Does he have enough arcane cards to guarantee a banch? I think he does. Yeah, he's just gonna play out Careful Study here. The Slippery Fingers, losing all his cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His Careful Study should cost 7. So he's gonna put 5 plus 2. No, 6 arcane cards. Then the other Careful Study. Gotta get his 5 enlightenment counters. Putting him up to 7. He's just gonna draw 2. He's gonna pass it up. Has he still not drawn DG? I feel like he hasn't drawn DG yet. Merlin has 8 trillion cards in hand. Probably has her own DG. Also has the Blanche in there that you can see. Oh, actually, it seems like Merlin also hasn't drawn a DG. So is this a DG-less game? Also seems like to not have much cycle cards. Probably just this Library Witch, some reprograms that you can play. Probably has a hard level next turn. Yeah, she's gonna pass. Probably gonna reprogram on end phase. Okay, this is very likely to hit 2 arcane, but if it hits the Careful Study, it hits the Careful Study. Alright, okay. He's lucky, did not hit the non-arcane cards. Going to maybe play something pre-rec? Nope. It's Dungeon Guide. He drew Dungeon Guide off the top. Wait. I mean, blessed by Limelight himself. Then he gets to play the second Careful Study. This game is quickly veering out of control. Maybe maybe increasing the danger was a good thing. Getting another 6 rep counters off of this. Gonna spend both already. Playing another Careful Study, drawing another 2. Got an Erratic. I think we just can we kill? Can we just do Erratic Fireball then? Oh, does he just have 2 fireballs? Oh, his opponent has Blanche though. He doesn't have a lot of cards that actually work. Is Egg gonna play Reprogram into Blanche to block 4? Might still be able to kill through that, actually. Thinking hard about how much he can greed this Blanche. So he's just gonna play the Blanche. And then probably gonna play either out this reprogram or this Fireball to try and get more in memory to increase Blanche's prevention effect. And he's gonna play the reprogram. Actually, probably should have played that reprogram in response to the Dungeon Guide attack. Though, if that 1 damage ends up mattering, we know that the reprogram would have been the reprogram difference. And we're gonna prevent 4 out of this 9. So probably not killing unless he has a Sparklight or some fast speed way of getting rid. He could play another Fireball on Blanche, but that doesn't seem particularly worth it. Oh, is he going to chain the Fireball to the Blanche? And he's going to chain another Fireball. So that's going to be on the stack. He's going to take 9, 9, 18, and then the Blanche is going to prevent 4 from this one, so it's 5. So that's 18 plus 5. I think he's dead. Unless he plays this Fireball in response. So if it's 9, 9, 5, that would be 23. So he would be dead. If he plays the Fireball in response, he can prevent 2 more from the first Fireball on the stack. So it would be an extra 2 prevented. So it would be 9, 9, 2, 18. It's still enough. I think he's still dead. Yeah, that's... Wait, I just want to make sure. I want to make sure if this is a reprogram difference. Because these 2 Fireballs are doing 9 each. So, and you can't do anything about that. So they're both going to hit for 18. Puts him up to 21. The last Fireball would come in for... If he plays the Fireball in hand right now, the last Fireball will come in for... It's going to prevent 6 out of the 9. So come in for 3. So I think no matter what, it's still going through. I mean, when Rai draws heat like that, drawing the Dungeon Guide off the top is kind of crazy. Yeah, and that's game. So, Dungeon Guide giveth, and she also taketh. So, I mean, Rai's Rai. When he draws insane, he draws insane. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. Unfortunately, I'm sorry we couldn't get Kaven versus Sean. That probably would have been a good game, but for the coming rounds, I think they will just start choosing the top tables. We also wanted to give some of the players who have been on stream a break just because you don't want to have consecutive matches with the same players. So we've got 2 more rounds, and then we'll be going into our top 8.